But oh no, Larry, come on, man. Come on. We don't need to do this at this stage of the game, do we? This is a bad sign. Bitcoin is crashing with that buy. I think we may have topped for this cycle. Larry. I don't want to. I'm not going to shit on anybody, that's for sure. That's not what I'm in the business of. But man, if you think we've topped this cycle, when the US government starts buying Bitcoin in January, it usually takes, like, if you look back to 2020, the last halving, Bitcoin went from $5,000 that March to $65,000 the next year within those 12 months. That's 11x. And that was before Wall Street was here. That was before Saylor was here. That was before Semler was here. That was before the US Strategic Reserve was here. That was before most of us were probably here. So just where we are right now, we're exactly where Bitcoin should be. We're probably way ahead of schedule, to be honest with you. I did not think that all this was going to happen this fast in terms of the ETFs. Like, if you went back to, I've been doing the show for just over a year now, every day. And if you went back to November 25th, 2023, 1 year ago, and if you told me that Bitcoin a year from now would be worth $96,000 US, $140,000 Canadian, if you would have told me that the ETFs would be approved and there would be, BlackRock would have already bought 400,000 Bitcoin, and if you would have told me that Trump won the election and they were talking about buying Bitcoin as a strategic Bitcoin reserve, I would have shit my pants. So, like, we're way far ahead of schedule here. This whole thing has happened much faster than any of us could have predicted. And if you think about going back to the cold storage here, every time you send Bitcoin to your cold storage, it's there. So you don't need to get caught up in the day-to-day stuff or the week-to-week or even the month-to-month. Like, this train hasn't even left the station yet for this bull run. This is where we're exactly on schedule. It's usually December, January, February. That's when things really kick off. And plus you mix in the US Strategic Reserve this time around. I mean, if you think that it's topped, I would gladly put any amount of money to bet that against you. Anything. S-Dot, before you collapse the civilization, you have to provide a transition monetary system, Bitcoin. Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing you got to keep in mind here. Is that without Bitcoin, we would be in a lot of trouble, because the fiat dollar was designed to die. Every currency in history has died. So they knew it was going to die before they even started. And it's about 25 years over the expiry date right now. It should have collapsed in 2008, but there was nothing there. Funny enough, a couple months later, the Bitcoin white paper came out, and then the first Genesis block was mined in Bitcoin. And within that first block, it had a newspaper article, Chancellor Banks on the brink of collapse, I think, something like that. So Bitcoin is the transition. And it's happening right now. We're in the middle of it. We're lucky enough to be here right now. So don't ever get caught up in the price action, ever. Ever. We're exactly where we're supposed to be. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's just expectations. That's all this is. It's just expectations. And your expectations, my expectations don't mean a thing in the grand scheme of things.